Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Douglas Attila Jamali. I'm here in Union Square presenting again on Universe.to, a vast audience across 75 billion worlds. I'm going to be covering today the concepts in and about what's going on with levels 3, 1 through 3, 6, and how those all relate back to Armageddon. And the 5 gold planets associated there with levels 3, 1 through 6, as well as my accomplishments here in San Francisco of near light speed collisions and constellation layout, as well as high energy impact universe sculpture. I've graduated here in San Francisco from the University System of Education with honors as a universe sculptor. And I'm now teaching courses to the universe here in San Francisco on a daily basis as I come here to Union Square, as I also make courseware for, what? Rebuke of intelligent design, all right? No, this gets back to intelligent design. So, with that being said, I would like to introduce myself again and the concepts that I did yesterday in and about Armageddon and what it is. So Armageddon is a war that harms you in the past, and it's all harmed us already here in the past. And where does that all come from? Ghosting. Ghost. To be ghosted means that somewhere in your past you have died. From a time incursion, either in the war or aftermath there, re-entered into Armageddon, in which Mortal Kombat addresses that by, again, interference. Mortal Kombat addresses that with that interference being ghost. So that means that we have a board here in which I stand upon alone here in the middle, in the bottom of the kibosh in the room. So there's a 300 gram, 500 gram, and 450 point antimatter disturbances that happened here in San Francisco, one in front of Macy's and one in front of Post and Lion, as well as one in Justin Herman Plaza that took my legs for 17 years. Okay. So, in that time, when I was out at Post and Lion, a 500 gram antimatter disturbance put me into stop time for 30 million years. From the time I walked out of the porta potty in which they placed the bomb, the time I reached from Post and Line, which is about 3 blocks to the Wisdero Bush, is when I popped out of the fire. As the Queen once said, "What's he doing in here, manifesting Euclidean space and life?" So, as I said, 30 million years, and in that 30 million years I was in the fire, Armageddon ensued, 1 through 6. Okay? Armageddon's 1 through 6, and they're in and about the 5 5 alpha mega device explosions here in San Francisco that destroyed the planet while I was inside the fire. These are known as the 5 wands of power of death, and they separated Earth because it was a time incursion in our past, and 5 instances of time where the world was blown up one before the other. One before the other. So therein lies the 4 kingdoms of heaven, earth, and hell. Came from that 5 alpha mega devices, explosions of the same device, albeit earlier and earlier and earlier, while I was in a stop time fire at Post and Line. So, in there are 5 ghostings of all life in the universe. These are called the 5 wands of power of death. And I hold the 6th wand of power of life. For I, because of the 500 gram antimatter disturbance that started before Armageddon, and then went through Armageddon, and then came back before Armageddon began, and then did procreation of Gaia and the beforemath and aftermath thereof of Armageddon's 4, 5, 6. So while I was in Justin Herman Plaza, they detonated an alpha mega device, the 5th instance of it that put me downstairs, meaning in the past of its explosion when I started above. So it blew up, and instead of me ending up on 3-4, I ended up on 3-3. So what are 3-3, 3-2, 3-1, 3-5, 3-6, 3-0? Okay, 3-0 is me all by myself. And after that, they're burning up in the atmosphere of Planet X and re-entry. And the dual rings of Planet X are represented by the 500 or 300 gram antimatter storage here in San Francisco, of which I wrote upon the 450 gram, to end up being caught by Planet X, quote, their protector and savior. And when that happened, Planet X came out of the netherworld, and I was saved, and Earth reappeared before that thereof of those two antimatter disturbances, including the third. This allowed me to navigate Earth out from underneath Armageddon and those two antimatter disturbances which make up Excalibur, a ship. With that being said, on the stage here in front of on Universe TV, I navigated Earth from the before map of those two antimatter disturbances in an arena that was 5.7 billion year loop, of which Planet X formed from that. So this allowed me to navigate on this stage out from underneath those two antimatter disturbances to end up here, in which I went under Armageddon, over Armageddon, and arrived here. So ghosting, what is that? Ghosting. That's when you get killed in your past, and Armageddon is a war that harms you in the past. And to resolve that in there, I was given an opportunity, now ending up before that of Armageddon, to put out its fires by calling an armistice across the board with just me. The commander-in-chief of all the armed forces of Armageddon, holster your weapons to me. And I was able to successfully traverse all of Armageddon with an armistice in the format and aftermath of Armageddon's 1 through 6. So what are 3-1, 2, 3, 6, and 3-0? 3-0, as I said before, is me burning up in the atmosphere of Planet X. 3-1 is the black nanite homeworld, Planet X itself. 3-2 is the aftermath thereof, the antimatter and antimatter and nuclear wars. 3-3 is the aftermath thereof of the biological war. 3-4 is where you blew up the planet underneath it, and I ended up standing there with absolutely nothing. 3-5 is the antimatter wars, disturbance thereof of the coalescence of Earth, and the aftermath of Armageddon, and the antimatter wars, and the Alpha Omega device, allowing me to reform the world from 3-5 with the scourge. And 3-6 is where we stand now. These are all in the fifth dimension, all separated by 5 antimatter disturbances, Alpha Omega device explosions that separate the kingdoms of heaven and earth and put us here. So with that being said, I start out in 3-6, and because of Armageddon, I end up falling down through the 4 kingdoms of heaven, to earth, to hell, antimatter wars, and back to heaven again, 6 times. With that, I took all life in seed and brought it back down to 3-4, allowing me to save all life in the universe except for the right. What do you think of that? Hey, Dad, well, all that's cool, never mind. I'm the Emperor of Galaxy Milky Way. So, as well as the United Federated Galaxies of Planets President, and I'm here with a vast amount of Universe TV, to create a constitution for a Bill of Rights and Amendments based on our founding fathers' constitution that will be applied to the tiny universe. Why? Under Emperor John Cleese and I, Universe First Citizen. So how did I end up being Universe First Citizen as John Cleese, being the Emperor of the known universe? Well, John Cleese opened his mouth and said something to the effect of, with me, Douglas, on my team, we could take over the whole universe. So it was put then to the Emperor and the Empress of the known universe, And they voted unanimously that John is the Emperor of the known universe, and I, the universe first citizen underneath him, to arrive here in San Francisco. By unanimous vote, all of the emperors, and that John and I are two good men. Now, you might find it's hard to believe, but it's real. So I'm going to end this so far right here, and allow me to go on and do some other things. I've got 10 minutes into this. Again, what would you come up here and say to make $20,000 every day? Well, there you have it. Is that worth $1? I hope you've heard of me. My name's Douglas Jamali, the infamous Doctor Who, the one and only D-Ray Cheek, the ambassador, to make sure there is no war anymore in between our people. The great communicator and architect of peace. Good day, everyone. I'll see you later this afternoon.